Hey guys, so this is the other guy coming to you tonight. So in tonight's episode, we are gonna talk a little bit about Bigfoot. So my brother and I are both hunters. We like to hunt when it's hunting season. We've been doing that for a long time, since our teenage years. In my lifetime, I've run into some incidents where I cannot explain, that I cannot attribute to human. And so, but it's not about me tonight. Tonight, it's about my younger brother. Basically, he lives in Sacramento, and he usually hunts the D3 zone. So if you know California, D3 is the east of the Sacramento. So I'll let my brother tell his story. It's about his encounter with Bigfoot.
How you guys doing? I don't know what your experiences are with the Bigfoot phenomena, if you believe it in it or not. But if you're a hunter, there's many things that hunters come across that are not human. Noise that aren't the typical noise, but yeah, last year of deer season. This is 2023. D3, 4, and 5 has one tag,
And this was last week, right?
yeah, this is last Sunday.
The last weekend of.
The last day of deer season was. It was the 29th of November, of October. Okay, so I was out with a couple guys. I'll leave their names out, but we went to the Strawberry area. I'll just give you guys a real general idea. So that, if you guys don't know, that's by Pyramid Mountain, or before you hit Tahoe on the 50. Well, on that mountain, there's my friend and I, we dropped off 5 friends on the previous mountain range. So imagine 2 mountain ranges positioned just like that.
Parallel.
So, they're parallel. Mm-hmm. And then Highway 50 cuts in the middle. So we dropped our friends in the first range towards, real close to Highway 50. I won't name the location, because if I do, you guys will know exactly where this is at. So we dropped them on the first mountain range, 5 guys, and 3 guys were on dirt bikes. 2 of those guys, or 2 of the 5 guys, were walkers. They were hunting on foot. So my friend and I decided we're going to go to the second range. And everybody's hunting on the west side of each range. So we stopped on the second range. And on that range, we came to a section where we had 2 trails coming in together. So we had a dirt bike trail and our dirt road that crossed the dirt bike trail. When we got there, I already noticed on the ground there were weird.
When you say dirt bike, is that like mountain bike or
mountain bike?
Okay, mountain bike.
But
trails.
they also take dirt bike.
Oh, okay. Like there. Dirt motorcycle.
Motorcycle.
Right.
So we stopped. As we stopped the car, we pulled out our rifles early morning. We were already, sun was already coming up, so we started the day a little late. It's probably 7:30, and you can already see around the car there were some strange footprints. I didn't take a good look at it. I didn't pay very much attention to it. And as soon as we got our packs on and we shouldered our rifles, we went up the trail.
So when you saw the footprints, what was the first thing that came to your mind?
I didn't think anything.
Oh,
That's so
knew,
early in the morning.
Mm-hmm. But you knew it was strange.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, and this is not the first time I saw footprints in my hunting career. So as we hiked up this trail,
how did it look like? The strange footprint.
it was just, I'd say about 14 inches. You know,
shaped like,
just like a human footprint.
uh-huh.
And there's no tractions like a shoe.
Uh-huh.
It's just bare human-like footprint.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more square-ish up on the toes, and
Right.
instead of looking like a human footprint where you got your big toe and it curves down like that,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then forms the feet down there. It's sort of just
like a
flat,
square,
flat square sort of.
Mm-hmm.
And we're on hard dirt. It just snowed.
Because like a normal human footprint has the arch.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And then it shapes like a foot, like a human footprint. It's like a human footprint, but it's like a flat.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I didn't think much of it, but then we started hiking up. And then we started hiking up the bike trail. As we hiked up this bike trail,
Mm-hmm.
as we went up about 100, maybe 200 yards, it curved left.
Mm-hmm.
As it curved left, and we made that left, I pushed out a doe and Bambi popped out.
So a doe and a fawn.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
They looked at me. I looked at them.
How far were they?
I'd say about I can't say 300. I'd say about 100, 150 yards
Oh, okay.
to the left. And then they just kind of crested into the valley
Okay.
from there. So my friend wanted to continue on the trail, but I said, it's flat enough for us to cross this little outcropping of rocks.
Mm-hmm.
So right at that turn, so it sort of turns, but right at that corner, there's a couple rocks.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to go up the rocks, around the rock, and he stayed on the right, and I followed the road, the rock to the left. Now, I didn't see anything. My friend wanted me to rush after the doe and the fawn, but I walked towards it. I didn't see any other sign of any bucks. But I continued on and crossed the dirt bike trail again. Because keep in mind, all we did was beat it to the next turn.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as this dirt bike trail continues forward, I ended up crossing the dirt bike over, and I'm on the left again.
Mm-hmm.
But now I make a right turn. I'm going parallel, but I'm on the left side of the dirt bike. My friend's still on the right side of the dirt track, the dirt bike trail. We're both going up the hill.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably on a 8-degree incline.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So we're going up. It's sort of flat enough to have animals relaxing. But this whole hillside, if you guys don't know, in the last couple of years we've had fires in the Sierras. So this whole mountainside is pretty much burnt down.
Mm-hmm.
Everything underneath is burnt. Actually, in this area that I'm talking about right now, where we're at right now, we still have pine needles on the ground. The trees are yellowed out. They're dying. And my friend continues on the right side of the bike trail going up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the left.
Mm-hmm.
As we come back up, now this mountain has lots of incline, then flattens out, and then
rolls out.
Yeah.
Up.
So
Rolls.
it keeps on doing. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So we get to the next flatter area, the next area. So we go up this trail. It's going up, but as we pass that and we hit the flatter surface, there's trees. Not trees, but grass, yellow grass that's about waist high. So, and it's more like a valley grass, so that would basically tell you that it's moist there.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so, I noticed that the grass were also bent down, as if someone or something had walked through it.
Like that? Okay, so
Yeah.
let's say this is the grass, right?
Yeah.
It went like this, right?
Yes.
And it bent like that.
But it wasn't just, it was bent down in certain areas. And so it looked like something had walked through that area. Didn't think much of it. Then my friend, he started walking towards me and he said, hey, there's a deer trail here. I'd say it's about 18 inches wide, the trail. And it's just super wet. And you can tell that deer had been coming up and down this trail.
Fresh prints.
Fresh print. And again, the trail's on, this deer trail's on the right side of the bike trail. Because I'm on the left, he's on the right of the bike trail. So he calls me over, I walk over, we look at this deer trail. Keep in mind, it's the last day of deer season, so you're paying attention to every sign out there for deer. So he says, okay, he's going to walk up towards the top of the hill. He's going to sit on the top, looking down into where I'm at, and I'll follow the trail. If I push anything runs, he'll be able to shoot from the higher vantage point.
Right. So he's sort of like a spotter.
Yeah.
While you're flushing out deer.
Yes. And so as I walk down this trail, I slowly walk down this trail, and I'd say it's a pretty flat area. I follow it for about 80 yards, maybe. Then there's a fallen log. So you guys have to use your imagination. We'll call it, this is the log, broken here, and broken here. The deer trail that I'm following comes right underneath the tree, but the tree's completely on the ground. So the trail comes right underneath the middle of the tree, and it's broken in three sections. And as I'm approaching this tree, there's a deer. Remember, I'm going this direction. As I'm approaching the tree, deer pops up right here on the opposite side of me and bounces off and crests right into the valley. This deer was a legal buck. It's
a buck?
Yeah, like 3x3.
Oh.
I was too slow to shoot. I think I would have had a complete different reaction had I been able to shoot. But I didn't get to shoot. So I walked up to the deer, to the tree. And on this tree...
Now, how big was the tree? Like to your waist, or...?
Yeah, it was mid-thigh section.
Oh, mid-thigh. Okay.
Yeah, mid-thigh.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm not a very tall guy. I'm not a very short guy. Just say I'm 5'9". So now, as I get to the tree, the tracks are still heavy as it was on this side of the tree. So I decided, okay, there's two trails that comes in and it connects right at the base, right at the broken portion of the tree. So I decided, okay, I'll go ahead and walk off to the right side. As I look to the right, there's a rock, about 30 yards, no more than 40 yards away from this center of the tree. And so I walk off, I take off my pack, put it down next to the rock.
How big was the rock?
I'd say about...
How tall, I meant?
Yeah, I'd say about 3 feet tall, if that.
Okay.
So it was just a place for me to sit on something dry. But instead of sitting on the rock, I took off my backpack and I decided maybe I can use the rock as a, what do you call it?
Okay, sniper.
A rest. Yes, as a rest. So I decided, okay, I'll put my pack down on the ground and I'm going to sit on my pack, as I usually do. And as I sit down, I make a real quick video off to my son and a couple people. If you received my message, you'll know where I was. I sat down and I told everybody it's super early in the morning and it's cold as hell and wish me luck. Then I arranged, I kind of spanned the camera left and right all the way around me. And then I turned it off. As I turned off, I looked down on the ground, and right in front of me, right in front of me is a footprint. 16 to 18 inches, maybe. But it was big enough to, I'd say, geez, right about there.
From the elbow to the wrist?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not wrist, from my knuckle.
Wow.
To right about, yeah, I'd say close to my wrist.
Wow.
And I kind of put my wrist up to it too, and I said, wow. I put my forearm up to it, and I said, Bigfoot? So I said,
You said it to yourself.
I said to myself, I said, Bigfoot? And then I started chuckling, and I laughed, and then I went back to just relaxing, and I turned around. And sure enough, there's footprints all over me.
The same footprint.
The same footprint.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about left footprints only. We're talking about right footprints as well.
Right.
So, and it sort of just kind of circled this rock that I'm at.
Ah.
And then I said, in dismay, I said to myself, is this really Bigfoot? And then I said to myself, in disbelief, I said, no, it couldn't be. So that's why I didn't take the camera and shoot the footprints at all.
Mm-hmm.
I just sat back down. As soon as I sat back down, I grabbed my rifle, dropped it on my lap, and I was just relaxing, looking at the trails, looking to the left, to the right of me. I know there's nothing that's going to pop up from downhill, because I'm looking downhill now, towards the bike trail, and the trees sort of canted 45 degrees away from me, and so
that same tree that the buck ran off.
tree that the buck ran off.
Because you walked past it like this.
Yeah, I walked past it and I went up.
Right.
So as I started to relax, I saw a figure. So keep in mind, guys, where the tree is, okay, here. Here's the bike trail down here, okay? There's a little mound that I can't see the bike trail, covers the bike trail. So it's a mound that's pretty high, it's pretty significant. It's not, if I walked on it, you'd probably see me. Anything that walked on it, you'd see some.
You mean
something.
behind it?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So the dirt road, the mound, the tree, and I'm up here. I'm way up here.
I see.
Okay.
So you're looking down, that's where you
I'm
see the
looking
mound.
down,
And
yeah.
then the dirt bike trail.
Yeah. So I can't see the dirt bike trail, but I know it's there.
Right.
So from this point where, we'll go direct to, we'll tell you what happened. So as I'm looking, the tree is here. The dirt bike trail runs right behind the tree, and I'm up here. And something pops up from here.
Right behind the mound.
Right behind the mound on the street. So it pops up.
Where the tree was.
The tree is right here.
Right.
Okay? So from the end of the tree, because the tree is actually, so from the end of the tree here to this point, I'd have to say probably 20, 30 yards. Sort of angling 45 degrees out that way as well. Because again, it's on a terrain, so it's sort of out. But something pops out from here, and I'm up here. So I'm looking from here, and I can't see behind my hair. So I'm up here, I'm looking down, and this thing pops up.
And when it pops up, how did it pop up?
All right, so we're gonna pretend, guys. This is the mound. This is the terrain, and the terrain is leading up towards you guys.
Okay.
So that's the case. This is the dirt road going up this way, and the tree is back over here. So what I notice is that, remember, the camera angle that you guys are looking at me now is from my vantage point. So this creature is down, and I couldn't see him because of the mound, and he stands up, and he looks at me. He turns this way and looks at me. So I can see his hand come up just like this. And as soon as he looks at me, and I catch him in my view, it startled me, and I said, "Whoa!" And it turned around and it just walked right down into the valley, and that was it. So that's how I saw the animal. Again, I was startled by it. I'm gonna guess that because I didn't shoot the deer popping out. I don't know if he was chasing the deer. I don't know anything at all. All I know is there was nothing behind the deer. So I didn't shoot it. I couldn't get a shot on the deer, and I walked up, sat behind the rocks, trying and hoping to see something else walking in.
Right.
And then I was startled by this thing just standing up, turning, looking at me, and I startled it, and it ran off.
So let me see. The deer was how far away from you before you got to the log, the tree?
From my, you're talking about from when a deer popped out?
Yeah.
I'd say 30 yards. So the log, as I'm approaching the log, I'm probably 20, 30 yards, if that at all.
Okay.
And the deer
And you were
pops
going
out.
up to the log.
So the log's kind of at that angle.
Okay, because
I'm
the terrain is going up.
And I'm trailing the deer here. I didn't know that the deer was here.
Right. And then the dirt road is down here.
Yes.
Okay. And then the mound is right here.
Mound is up here.
Oh, it's up there.
It's up here.
Okay. All right. So then the deer popped from here and ran off.
Yes.
It was behind this log.
It went down.
Ah. Okay. So then you went this way up a little bit to where the boulder
mound.
was. The mound.
Now, from this point to that little rock or boulder or mound, we'll call it mound for now. I'd say it was 30 yards.
Okay, so you were 30 yards
30
from
to
here
40 yards
to the
no
up,
Yeah.
and then from the mound to where the beast was.
From here to where the beast was is, I don't know. All I know is it's from here to here is 40 yards. That's 50 already. And this is, again, the mound wraps around, the dirt bike wraps around this way. So the beast was probably out this way. It's probably 15 to 20 yards from here to here where the deer popped out.
Right. So from your vantage, where you were,
I'd say 60 yards.
60 yards. Wow. So so let me ask you, when you first saw the footprint where you were sitting, were there any deep impression on the footprint?
Okay, so here's the crazy thing. That week, everybody knows. So the weekday prior to that weekend, we had just gotten snow on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then the closing weekend is that next weekend.
Right. That's the week that you went.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So that's that weekend.
Got it. So it had just snowed the prior week.
Yes.
And then you went that last day.
So, yeah. So if anybody that hunts, hikes, or knows anything about dirt or tracks, when the snow comes down, it hardens the surface.
Right.
Or any moisture comes down, it hardens that surface for a few days. And it does not soften up until something disturbs it.
Right.
So, I'm 190 pounds. At the spot that I saw the footprint, I left no tracks.
Really?
Yes.
So you left no track, but there was a footprint there, and it left that track.
It left at least an inch deep track.
An inch deep.
An inch deep.
Wow, that thing must be heavy.
But with the trails that the deer are running, they're running on the moist area, so they're able to leave tracks.
Right.
Plus, they're a lot heavier on hoofs because the hoofs are small.
Right. But where you were, you couldn't make tracks there. But you saw the track there.
Yes.
Wow. So the set of track that went around the rock, were they single file or were they, like human.
It's the ones around the rock. It seemed like he just kind of walked around the rock.
Okay, randomly.
But randomly. But as I looked from the rock down towards where he popped out, it was, instead of, you know how people walk and that we leave footprints like this. Well, that footprint was
Single file.
Single file.
Yeah, that's how I saw mine too.
And this is not the first time I've seen footprints. So,
yeah, for those of you who don't know, I've also seen footprints. And a man, when they walk, us men, when we walk, our footprints are side by side like this.
Parallel. We leave parallel prints.
Parallel footprints. But these footprints, when they're authentic, they leave the footprints like
Single
this.
file.
Single file footprints. It's the way they're built. Okay, so when the rock that you were on, when it was walking around it, did you see any handprints?
No, I did not even think about the handprints.
Okay, all right.
So I didn't even look.
Okay.
And I chuckled at it, thinking, "Oh yeah, Bigfoot."
And you know, guys, that's what I did to mine too. My first sight of the first time I saw the footprints, I said to myself, "Gosh, why would Shaq O'Neal come up in a place like this and hunt barefooted?" You know, and so I chuckled to myself too, right? So then,
Yeah.
okay, so then the thing walked off.
Yeah, because underneath the bike trail,
Uh-huh.
it's just a very steep angle drop off into the valley, and as you look down into the valley, it flattens out because down at the bottom of the valley, there's a creek that flows.
Right. So did you go to that mound?
So I did. You're talking where the creature popped up.
Yeah, yeah.
So I walked from where I was the mound, and I came down to where the dirt bike trail came up. And as I walked down there, I noticed, I wasn't quite sure if that was a dirt bike trail, but as I walked towards where the mound was, where he popped up, okay, the rock, the mound, and the street where he popped up, I noticed that he had footprints there, like many footprints. Like he was there, he was squatting there for a while.
Okay. So the footprint were in a position like he was squatting.
Yeah, just imagine if you were squatting.
Your feet would be like this.
Yes.
Right. It wouldn't be like that.
Right.
But you know, because we have to position our bones in a certain way where we could squat.
Right.
Okay.
And then I could also see that from that squatting position where you have the feet like that, I did notice that one of the feet turned. There was a spin on it, so that I guess that would have been from him turning to look at me. That's
like
it.
Turning his torso.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so you also said that your friend radioed you.
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so my friend radioed me and said, "Hey, come on up here since you're not seeing anything." I said, "Since you're not seeing anything," oh, he said, "Since I'm not seeing anything," and okay, so he said, "Come on up here and let's have lunch and then we'll continue on." Now,
so this is late in the day already, midday
this is
already.
about 8 o'clock.
Oh, 8 o'clock.
But
Wow.
it's a climb going up.
Right.
So my friend says, "Come on up here, and when you get up here, we'll have breakfast or lunch, and then we'll move on to the next spot."
Right.
Now, if you guys are not Hmong, you guys won't understand tradition. But if you're Hmong, you guys will understand the tradition why I did not tell him. In the Hmong tradition, you don't scare each other up in the mountains. Le Bongpli is what we call it. They get scared and they lose their spirit up there.
So Hmong is a people. We are that people.
Yes, a race of people. And so I decided, okay, I'm not going to scare my friend. I'm just going to keep it to myself. So I went up And when I got to the top, finally reached top ridge. Now, keep in mind this whole mountainside, the deer, imagine kind of a cone for the mountain. Okay, you can tell that these tracks were running in circles.
The deer.
Mm-hmm. The deer. Mm-hmm. They were not running down the mountain; they're running circles.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got to. No, so we got to about 7,200 feet in elevation. Where I was at was probably 6,000 on elevation. So we got to 7,200. We sat down at 8, looked around. It was really nice. As I look forward, that's the ridge line going up the mountain. You can walk it all the way to the peak. And I said to my friend, hey, let's walk off to after we eat, let's follow the ridge line and walk off to the right, because there's a flat side to the right, and it's got green grass.
You could see it.
You can see it from where we were at. But there's a meadow, and then a sort of a drops off to the right side.
And because it's already fall, the regular grass had already died, and they turned
yellow.
Yellow. But that spot is green.
Yes. So we decided, all right, let's eat and we'll hit this area.
Right.
So my friend walks up before me after we eat, and he walks off. So he's about 100 yards, I'd say 60 yards away from me, in front of me, and I'm behind him. I walk underneath the old grove trees, which were completely burnt down. So everything underneath the tree or nothing but ash. Okay? And my friend's in front of me, about 60 yards. And we're talking to each other. I said, man, there's some big deer here, and there's some strange tracks here. He said, no, man, it's just bear. But you can see that whatever this thing was, it was chasing deer. Because the deer, they were just running all over the place. But
did you see the footprints?
You'll see one footprint, and then the others would disappear for about 6 to 8 feet before you see another print.
I see.
So it looked like whatever that creature was, it was running. It had a huge stride to it.
Yeah, because my experience has been that on a regular walk, a usual Bigfoot that you would see is the gait or the stride is about 6 feet. My stride is about 3 feet, and so your strides the stride that you saw,
it's huge.
It's far
in this section. In this section, it was far, really far.
So, were there any the footprint that you see or you saw? Did it sink into the ground as well?
It sank, and you can see where it pushes off. Doesn't look like our footprints. It pushes off from the midpoint. It seems.
So you're explaining what they call the carpal, mid-tarsal break. So I've seen this myself. So imagine this is a human feet. When it walks, the human feet walks like that, whereas this thing, it walks with a broken mid-tarsal, and then it walks off like this. So that's what he's describing, right?
Yeah. And I told my friend, there's an animal here. He said, oh, bears. So we didn't think much, and
because that's what he's seeing.
Yeah.
So when he
it
sees,
looks like a bear print.
Yeah. When you see this, and then when you see a crease in the middle, like this, that crease, then it looks like two paws, bear's paws, like this.
One on top of the other.
Yes, because bear tends to walk like that. With the two front paws walk like this, and the rear paw comes, and stepped on top of the other, and you see it like that.
But the problem is that you have two sets of tracks at that point.
Right.
In the case of mine, it was just one set.
Single file. 4 gait. Right. Yeah. 4 strides. Yeah. Right. Okay. So the stride is about how many feet?
6 to 8 feet, I'd say.
Wow. Wow.
So, yeah, so that's the end of what I can say I saw.
Okay.
Now, the weirdest thing is this. I decided not to tell my friend because I might make him scared and lose his spirit up there, and then they'd have to go do some jingle bells to call his spirit back from the mountain.
In our people's term, in Hmong term, we call it bongpli. And so if his friend bongpli, which means his spirit has fallen away from him, lose his spirit, then they have to go and call a shaman and fix him up spiritually and stuff like that. So my brother was right. In our culture, my brother didn't want to scare that guy.
Yeah. With that being said, funniest thing, we get back 10 o'clock, probably close to 10 o'clock. For Viet, or Ho Viet, off of Bradshaw in Sacramento. 7 of us were sitting down, we're eating, ordering food, and one of the younger guys, he says, "You guys, I got a story to tell you." Everybody.
There's a younger hunter.
There's a younger guy, but he's not that young. He's in his mid-20s to late 20s.
But he's the younger one of
He's
the
the youngest. Yeah, I think he's the youngest. And he says, "I got something to share with you guys." Out of my curiosity, I looked over at him, and everybody says, "Yeah, what is it?" He says, "I saw a caveman today." As a caveman, he said, "Man, guys, I saw this thing just walking on the ridge. I'm looking at Deer Trail, and I saw this thing just walk off to the left of the ridge." And he said he wasn't scared. He said he walked up to where it disappeared, and he saw footprints. He was like, all the footprints, they get bigger and smaller. But then he said they were about 14 inches. And he said they looked like human footprints, but it had blocky toes. And I said, "Bigfoot, bro." He looked at me, he says, "No, a black caveman."
A black caveman.
We're laughing. But I told him, "Bro, footprints that was it left in parallel prints?
Side by side.
Side by side? Or how was it left?" He said, "No, it was left single file." You guys keep in mind, the other, with exception to me and this guy seeing it, the prints, the other guys, they laughed it off like, "Oh yeah, sure, Bigfoot, okay." But I think deep down inside, everybody understands there's a Bigfoot out there. We've all heard it. We've all seen the prints. You can ask any hunter. They've seen strange stuff. The craziest thing is we've all heard the noises that they make. We just can't tell what they are. But in our own tradition, we call them marlu. So this is my first visual experience where I saw the creature. But seeing footprints, seeing broken trees, trees that are broken up 7-8 feet tall, and they just snap, and they're so big that you can't even break. Yeah, and
we can break trees about this big, like that. Yeah. We can't break trees about this big by our own.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, you can't just have one tree in the forest that snaps up 8 feet up here and bends completely back down to the ground. I can't.
And it's not snow.
Yeah.
And it's not snow. The weight of snow.
Yeah. If it was snow, there'd be a lot of dead trees like that everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my experience.
Wow.
That's my story. And I told my brother, I said, "Man, it's unfortunate we have to make a trip to Minnesota right now. So We can't go see it right now, but shoot, I don't think anybody's gonna go back up there because hunting season's over. For deer, anyways. And nobody should be stepping on those tracks. We should be able to go right back to those sections of that area, and those footprints should still be there. Especially if it snows, it should still sit.
Right.
Because it'll harden up.
Yep. Yeah. So
you guys want to come along?
Yeah, we'll do another episode of us going up there to that place. Yeah, so that's our story, guys. And I hope that you enjoy the story. My brother's not a liar. I can vouch for you. He doesn't make up stories. He tells it like it is. He would make up stories like this because I know my brother for too long. I've also have experienced myself where it wasn't just me as witness. It wasn't just one person, me, as the person who sees it. But I also had friends who saw it with me, and we also have our own documentation. So I'm just happy that my brother saw it. His friend, one of his friends, saw it. And yeah, I hope that this is a good story for you to listen to. And if you like this story, like and share.
Oh, last thing, guys. Don't think about eating Bigfoot jerky because you won't have the time to shoot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. On that note, you know, he and I, we're always making fun of people, and we're always talking about shooting Bigfoot and making jerky out of him. And you know what? Now we understand, because it's like this. The last thing you want to do when you see a Bigfoot is take your gun and shoot a Bigfoot. Because at the sight of it, it's like a shock. It's like you're stunned.
You're startled because
You're
you've never
startled.
seen anything like it.
Right. And people make fun of other people who takes blurry shots of Bigfoot. Actually, I'm envious of them to have that mental capacity to say, oh, I got to take that shot. And be it that it's blurry or blotchy, they have the mental capacity to take that picture or video. With me, when I saw my first set of footprint, that was the last thing on my mind. And I had my phone with me to take videos. And so, well, tell me, why did you take pictures of yours?
Never thought about it.
Yeah, never thought about it.
Because I'm there for a completely different reason.
Me too.
Chasing deer, and it just happened to be there.
Yep.
And you think nothing about doing anything else except what you're there to do.
Mm-hmm.
Hunt.
Yeah. Well, we hope that you liked the video. Give us a thumbs up, like, and share.